Hi guys, my name is Fabi and today I wanted to talk about the Latinx perception on Columbus Day living in South America currently under the South American school systems. Of course, my perception is tied to the Venezuelan school system because that's where I grew up, but I do know different people from different parts of South America who have had similar experiences to my own. I can gather a general consensus on what the perception is, and let me tell you, it's not cute. Basically, in school we're taught that Columbus arrived to America for October 12, 1492, we got the day off, and that he helped civilize the people that lived there, you know, and that at first indigenous people were treated as slaves, but then the priests decided that they were gonna evangelize them and turn them into Catholics, and that if they chose to not become Catholic, they would be turned into slaves. So that leads a lot of people to say, oh, they had the free will to become Catholic if they wanted to, they had choice, but like, come on, it was Catholicism or slavery. Like, I would too go to Mass on Sunday if they told me, oh, you have to, you know, we're gonna hit you and treat you like a subhuman if you don't become Catholic. So, you know, it's fucked up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, people think, like, I was talking to my mom yesterday on the phone, and I was complaining because I have this class about literature of the conquest, and we're talking about Cortez and Columbus and all this stuff, and my professor likes to gloss over a lot of the bad things that happened, and that's even shittier considering I'm going to school in Spain right now. So when you think about it, it's like, I don't know, I find it even worse than what they taught me in school, because here, like, I don't know, it's like a British person saying they never went to the US and did shitty things, I guess. It's like your mom telling you that Santa is not real and then telling you, oh, but you know, he is, so don't worry about it. I don't know, it makes me feel so icky inside. It's fucked. And then, you know, I'm telling my mom, like, you know, this is fucked up. I don't like it. It makes me so uncomfortable because I feel like she will have a certain perception of myself if she knew I was Venezuelan, because I've kept my mouth shut the entire time. And you know, my grandma chimes in because I was on speaker and I was talking to everyone at home, and she says, oh, but it's not a bad thing because Columbus civilized us and they brought, you know, religion to all of us and all that stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, Grandma, but like that is how people think. That is how people think in Latin America. That is what they think is right. They don't think it's a bad thing that Columbus came. And they say, you know, without him we wouldn't be here today. Which is, it's the understatement of the century. Because yes, maybe we wouldn't be here, but we'd also have a lot more knowledge of astronomy, math, and science, and all these things, and medicine that indigenous people knew of, and we just decided to kill them and not even listen to them because they didn't believe in Jesus. And then I think of like when they changed in Venezuela they changed the name of Columbus Day to the Indigenous Rebellion Day. I remember everyone was just kind of like, what? Why would you change this? And I'm sitting there like, well, back then I was on that camp, but no, like looking back at it, I'm like, no, that's right. Like, fuck. We don't deserve, like, Columbus does not deserve his own day. Like, no, he wasn't even that smart. Sorry, but he didn't go to university. He was, like, barely educated. What he wrote was based, like, he wanted to sound like some, like, Marco Polo. So he wasn't a brilliant person. And in South America and everywhere, they idolize him in such a strange way, without knowing he sold 12-year-old girls to slavery. Like, what are we doing? You know, and this is our people. Like, I understand in the US there's like a strong line between cultures and between races, but in South America there was a lot more mixing that happened, and there's a lot of people who probably have indigenous descent that deny themselves, and that will say, you know, like, there's so much colorism in South America, there's so much colorism, and we practice all these rituals and all these things that are partly come from indigenous culture, and we pretend they don't, you know, and we pretend, oh, but, well, you know, this just came from, I don't know, like, indigenous people just showed this to Spaniards, and Spaniards made it better. Like, fuck. No, the Spaniard probably saw it and was like, what the fuck is this? Like, did you know tomatoes did not exist until they came to America? Like, tomatoes are an American thing. They are. Like, Italians use them all the time, and they probably don't know that they were first discovered in America. Like, fuck. Or not discovered, but they're American. Tomatoes. Potatoes. potatoes are an American thing. Like, potatoes were discovered in Peru. And so was corn. Like, and tomatoes are Mexican originally. And so is, like, chocolate. And just, people don't realize these things. And we want to have these things as Latinx people and say, you know, we have the best coffee. We have... Bro, the reason they're there is because indigenous people. We don't have our culture without indigenous people. And we still deny them that. And we still say, oh, but Columbus, like, we wouldn't be here without indigenous people either. And we would be probably a lot better off had Columbus not pillaged and fucked so many people. Because honestly, it was not okay what he did. Like, he would send out indigenous people to fish for pearls, and it was such a terrible job that they would drown of exhaustion. Because they would do that normally to like make jewelry and stuff. And then Columbus was like, oh, there's a pretty thing, bring me more and more and more, until they would drown of exhaustion. Like, oh God. And it just, the fact that what people think in Latin America in general, when you tell them Columbus Day is, oh, civilization and good things, just shows that we're not a lot better off just because we have more intermixing in our culture, you know. And this school system never teaches you much about it, you know. I learned all of what I know that Columbus did terribly thanks to the internet. My school only taught me the thing about the pearls and that indigenous people chose to become Catholic because otherwise they would become slaves. I'm not gonna tell you what indigenous people in South America think of Columbus Day. It's not fair for me to do. Just, I've put links below where you can find it, where you can find different organizations that have a lot of information about indigenous people and their status today in South America. A lot of them are in Spanish because I wanted to focus on South American indigenous people, especially in the Amazon, because those are the people that are Venezuelan. You know, it's not fair for me to say, you know, this is how they feel. I'm just telling you my outrage at the Latinx white people like myself who still think it's a good thing because we were given Catholicism and taught shame. So if you want to know how Native people feel about this situation, I also found some Native American YouTubers that you can check out. Please do. I think what they have to say is really interesting and it's really important. And the more knowledge we have, the better. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that other YouTube stuff. Please, 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 please check out the organizations I've left below and the YouTubers I've left below. I think it's really important for them to amplify their voices because it's, you know, it's 2% of the population that has suffered too much. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Are you ready? You're not ready.